Abusuani komo our channel so AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast or say training because making headlines and the jembre na be exom war. Yamo enra yensim. Lawyer Tsikata. Ekupi mu ewo UPXA. Honorary Lectures and Award Ceremony. Na nenkasa yemu no otutu bi edeko eye EC chairperson eye Mensah asweye efa eye 2020 election ho. Na yebesrek se yembo enwura na so eye na yenhwe ensem ahodo a utimi ekafa eye maami hu efa sa election period. AGH Politics Avenue yembo enwura eye ensemfo ni.
For chalking 150 years since its operations, long may our judiciary grow. Talking about the judiciary, a luminary in that sector, lawyer Tsikata, has said that up until today, the country has no definitive accounting for the 2020 presidential elections. He attributed the reason to the refusal of the panel to not allow the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Mensah, to testify as the returning officer of the presidential election. Mr. Tsikata raised his concerns during the UPSA honorary lecture and award ceremony, where he received a Lifetime Achievement Award on Wednesday.
The 2020 election was challenged at the Supreme Court by the National Democratic Congress, which raised concerns over the election process. During his speech, renowned lawyer Tsikata said the court should have permitted Mensah to mount the witness box for questioning over the conduct of the 2020 elections.
I found it sad during the election petition following the December 2020 presidential election, the constitutionally designated returning officer, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, even though she had deposed to an affidavit verifying the answer of the Electoral Commission and was supposed to testify, did not testify to present the authoritative final figures, much less explain the ever-changing figures from the Commission. To this day, therefore, the country has no definitive accounting for the 2020 presidential election. In the face of evidence of her failure even to be in attendance at the process in the collation center at the EC head office, the declaration of results that she made was even more problematic. Unanimous FC was the verdict of the people on the proceedings in the Supreme Court, which shielded the returning officer from accounting to the people of Ghana.
Tsikata pointed out that the outcome of the 2024 election vindicated Mahama.
The negative reaction of ordinary people to the appearance of judges to participate in the swearing-in of the new president on 7 January 2025 was an unfortunate reflection of the people's attitude to the unanimous FC. I may also say that from the point of view of President Mahama, whose election petition was dismissed by the unanimous FC, vindication came comprehensively in December 2024. What he could not have done with a hung parliament after the 2020 election, he now has a chance to do decisively with a supermajority in parliament. This vindication, however, comes with a heavy weight of responsibility and expectation, which I believe the president is conscious of.
His comment comes as he reflects on the role of the judiciary and the legal profession in maintaining public trust.
We lawyers in particular, judges most especially, must be in the vanguard of the respect for legality.
The continuous existence of the OSP is under threat after the Attorney General said it will take steps to take over cases being handled by the OSP, and Yunam Haliga captures ongoing debate over the office of the Special Prosecutor in this report.
With constitutional flaws, the words of the then minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, when the office of the Special Prosecutor Act was fiercely debated in Parliament before its passing. 8 years down the line, the debate over whether or not the OSP truly is independent is back on the front burner amidst questions over the government's commitment to fight corruption. The present conundrum, necessitated by a ruling of the High Court, has called into question the authority of the OSP in charging and prosecuting persons without express approval of the Attorney General. The court tasked the OSP to either seek the authorization required or the Attorney General take over all cases belonging to the OSP. Kweku Ansa Asari, a former rector of the Ghana School of Law, has been sharing his perspective on the latest development.
It's a good ruling, sound in law, and in consonance with the provisions of Article 88 of the 92 Constitution. What the High Court did yesterday was to say that since the OSP did not obtain prior authorization before embarking on certain prosecutions, it had erred, and therefore it should go back. So the High Court drew the attention of the Office of the Special Prosecutor to the existence of Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution.
While some believe this was bound to happen, others believe the present challenge directly attacks Ghana's fight against graft. Deputy Ranking Member on Parliament's Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee and Member of Parliament for Kushegu, Al-Hassan Tampuli, believes the ongoing development is a deliberate government effort to rid the country of the office.
First, we saw the leader of government business, Honorable Mahama Yerega, and the MP for Boku Central, and then the Honorable Majority Chief Whip, Honorable Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo, bring a private member's motion to the floor of Parliament seeking to abolish the office of the Special Prosecutor. Now that is a parliamentary, attack. They were called to order by the President from what we were told. Then there was an attempt to use the executive. So petitions were filed. A series of them, the last time I mentioned that there were about 10 petitions, some people argued, but there were quite many petitions. Now those also failed the test of prima facie. So they were also thrown out. Now the last leg is to use the judiciary. And this is what we are seeing.
The Attorney General's office, while the debate rages over the parity of the High Court's ruling, says it has no intention to disobey the order. The Deputy Attorney General, Štǒrmš, added the office will in the coming days take steps to give effect to the order. A position the Kushegu Member of Parliament says enforcers believe the current administration has no desire to fight corruption.
All this Attorney General has to do is to give the necessary authorization. And then we'll stop all of this, confusion that is, all over the place. But we are hearing, for instance, my very good friend, Honorable Dr. Justice Štǒrmš, saying that they are going almost immediately to start taking over the cases. There are two courses of action. You give the authorization or you proceed. And even with that proceeding, you need to wait because the OSP has indicated an intention to appeal that decision.
For retired Supreme Court Judge William Atuguba, the High Court's decision in the case between the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General is not final and can be appealed at the Supreme Court.
The High Court decision is not final. I think there's an appeal also. They can question it in the Supreme Court. Until the Supreme Court finally determines, we can't say that it's over.
But with the latest ruling, the autonomy now faces serious legal limitations. Enyonam Haliga, TV3 News, Accra.
Staying in the court, the Supreme Court has granted the Attorney General 7 days to file a statement of case in a constitutional challenge that could redefine the prosecutorial authority of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. At the Apex Court on Thursday, the 16th of April, A chief state attorney representing the Attorney General explained that delays in filing the statement of case were due to what she described as unavoidable administrative procedures. The Supreme Court, however, questioned why no supporting affidavit had been filed alongside the request for an extension. The applicant, who is also representing himself, lawyer Noah Ephraim Tete Adamte, was absent from court. Despite the concerns raised, the Supreme Court granted the Attorney General 7 days to submit his legal arguments. The case, which has been pending for nearly a year, challenges the constitutional basis of the Office of the Special Prosecutor's investigative and prosecutorial powers, filed under Article 2(1) and invoking the interpretative jurisdiction of the court under Article 130. The suit raises questions about whether Parliament can vest prosecutorial authority in the special prosecutor when Article 88 of the same Constitution reserves that power for the Attorney General. An earlier attempt by the Office of the Special Prosecutor to join the case was dismissed by the court, which held that the Attorney General is the proper party to defend the law.
Government has called for improved efficiency, access and public trust in Ghana's justice system as the Supreme Court of Ghana marks its 150th anniversary. The call was made at the official launch of activities marking the milestone, which brought together key stakeholders in the legal and governance space.
Government says delays in court processes, long hours of litigation and access to justice remain key concerns that must be addressed within the judicial system. Speaking on behalf of the President at the launched 150th anniversary of the Supreme Court of Ghana, a Deputy Chief of Staff Administration, Nana Oye Bampoado, called for reforms to improve efficiency and strengthen public confidence in the courts.
The courts must continue to stand as the final fortress against arbitrariness, abuse of power, and constitutional erosion. The Supreme Court must continuously deepen gender-sensitive inclusiveness and broaden access to justice for all, especially for vulnerable persons, women, persons with disability, and the poor. Justice must not be the preserve of the privileged.
Government also urged the judiciary to adopt modern technology and digital systems to speed up case management and reduce delays in the delivery of justice. Responding to the call, the Chief Justice Paul Bafo-Boni acknowledged the importance of strengthening the justice system as it marks 150 years of existence. He reaffirmed the judiciary's commitment to upholding the rule of law and improving access to justice.
Through the e-justice program, we are moving toward digital filing, digital service, virtual hearings, and digitized records, making justice faster, more efficient, and more accessible. We have introduced extended court cities via the two-stream system, turning time itself into an ally of justice. Through specialized courts for emerging areas of law, we are acknowledging that the law must grow with society. And through the ongoing revision of our court rules of court, we are attempting something fundamental to ensure that procedure serves justice and does not suffocate it.
Established in 1876, the Supreme Court has evolved through colonial rule, independence and multiple republics, shaping Ghana's legal and democratic framework.
And congratulations to the Supreme Court
and justice.
In more news tonight, Labour union leaders have described government's decision to absorb 2 cedis per litre on diesel and 36 pesos per litre on petrol as timely. The intervention is aimed at easing the burden on workers and the general public. Our Labour Affairs correspondent, Daniel Opoku, has filed this report.
Government, in line with Cabinet's decision to question fuel price hikes, on Wednesday announced plans to absorb 2 cedis per litre on diesel and 0.36 pesos per litre on petrol. The decision takes effect on April 16, 2026, which marks the next pricing window. The intervention will remain in force for a period of 1 month. Leaders of some labor unions, including the president of the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, Jacob Anaba, the General Secretary of the Ghana National Association of Teachers, Thomas Tanko Musa, and the General Secretary of the Teachers and Education Workers Union, TEU, King James Azotiba, say the intervention has brought relief to workers across the country.
The wealth prices is going up. What government needs to do is that he has to look at it. What are the taxes I have put on the fuel? And remove some of the taxes. But now I understand it is a subsidy. It means that government will have to look for money and pay. So we are creating debt somewhere. What we need to avoid.
Because of that, the GPRTU have decided that they will not increase lorry fares. And many other people, decisions that they could have taken, which would have gone to affect the ordinary worker, ordinary Ghanaian, all of them have ended up suspending those decisions as a result of the reduction of the diesel by 2 Ghana cedis and the petrol by 0.36 pesos. Because of that, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana must be commended.
When you take diesel, about almost 9 cedis per liter is enough, per gallon is enough intervention that will cushion the Ghanaian public and the Ghanaian worker.
Despite the commendation, the union leaders have called on government to sustain the intervention beyond the initial 1 month period.
1 month, I agree, but they have to come clear. They have to be transparent. You have to indicate to the citizens that these are the taxes we have on fuel. This is what we want to take away from the fuel, the taxes. And let's be transparent to the citizens of Ghana. If you say 2 cedis, which part of the taxes is it affected? Because the price from the international market remains the same. Sure. You have brought the fuel here. You have put certain taxes and levies on them. Remove them.
There are shocks that come to hit us suddenly and surprisingly unaware. We are sometimes taken by events. And when that happens and our economy is thrown off gear, the cedi is no longer standing anywhere, and the dollar is dribbling the cedi like anything. By the time we realize, we go to the IMF. Why? It is because our fundamentals are weak, and we need to be careful the way we go.
We're only hoping that within the 1 month, it does not escalate for the prices to shoot higher. When it shoot higher, we buy and we come and sell, and we cannot do anything. Then the long-term effect is that if it continues, then we are going to suffer. We can only pray.
According to the Ministry of Energy and Green Transition, the combined effect of the reduced margins will translate into an average estimated revenue loss of at least 200 million cedis for government in each pricing window.
The Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, Vincent Ekoesafua, has accused the National Pensions Regulatory Authority of misusing pension funds, alleging that resources have been improperly spent on foreign training programs, payment of double salaries, and plans to embark on a second phase of the NPRA head office project. He says these actions point to poor spending priorities and weak governance within the authority's current leadership, and has demanded an independent review of the situation.
It has been confirmed that NPRA undertook a 2-week foreign training program at Bentley University in Boston involving 11 board members, 6 directors, and senior management staff, translating to well over 8 million Ghana cedis, excluding tuition, logistics, and incidental expenses which remain undisclosed. Reports indicate the appointment of a personal aide, reportedly a veterinary doctor, who has been elevated to the position of assistant manager. Despite the establishment of a fully fledged directorate for micro pensions, Mr. Mensah is also reported to have appointed the former CEO, the former chief executive officer of the MP.
The Senate of Bad India Dumbi Romania. Yebishia na Yasumo Kwan Strong.